We are used to the fact that on the internet you can find answers to any questions, but sometimes the opposite happens, and the internet generates riddles, the answers to which no one knows. Today we will talk about them. These are 10 interesting facts about dark secrets and mysteries of the internet. Watch this video till the end. It will be very interesting. In 2012, a message appeared on a popular American internet forum in which no one on behalf of some mysterious group said the following. Greetings. We are on the lookout for people with very high intelligence. To find them, we have developed a test. The first clue is hidden in this image. Find it. It will open the door for you to find us. We look forward to the few who succeed. The message was signed with the number 3301, and attached to the message was a black and white image of a cicada, which is an insect that looks like a moth. This mysterious message immediately attracted a lot of interest, and people began to try to decipher the riddle. This riddle was the first of a long chain of other puzzles. It turned out that it was necessary to open the picture with a text editor. There was a certain encrypted code. By decoding it, one could get a link to another picture, this time with a duck. This picture had to be passed through a certain program. A hint of the name which was hidden in the text on this picture. Having received from it the hidden data, the link was formed to the other site, where there was information about the book in the book. The telephone number was ciphered, and having called it, the voice automatically sent the searcher back to the very first picture. It was said that there were 3 more numbers hidden, which had to be multiplied by each other to get the digital address of the site where the next puzzle was. The chain of such tasks was very, very long. All of these puzzles required knowledge of mathematics and geometry programming and cryptography. The results and solutions of these puzzles were published on the internet by different people, but it was clear that those who were ahead in this race and who made the most progress did not publish their results. In the end, the clues turned into coordinates of different places in many countries around the world. In these places, there were pieces of paper with the image of a cicada and a code, which gave already new clues, and so on and so forth. There was a lot of sinister speculation about who was behind all these clues. Perhaps it's the secret services, who are so looking for new talent, or maybe some kind of sect or secret community like the Illuminati. It is not known exactly how many people have managed to solve all the puzzles. Several people have said publicly that they succeeded, that they passed them all. According to them, they eventually made it to a certain closed website where representatives of the cicada communicated with them. It turned out that Cicada 3301 is a community of people who aim to develop software for fully secure and private communication. No other information could be found out about them. Moreover, the finalists were not invited to work for any company or to develop anything together. At least those who publicly stated that they had passed all the tests. Well, new mysteries and trials from Cicada 3301 continued a year later and appeared for several more years after that. The last of their riddles in the form of a book written in runes has still not been deciphered, or we just don't know that anyone has managed to decipher it. Most likely those who solve the cicada riddles the fastest don't make this information public, and so only a select few eventually find out the whole truth about this organization, or even join it. In the mid-1990s, when not many people had access to the internet, there was a very strange site. Its name was mortis.com. The words mortis in Latin meant death. The site had a black background, a name, and a field for username and password. There was nothing else. In the modern internet, such mysterious sites which it is not clear what is a lot, but in the mid-90s it was really something strange and mysterious. In those days, to create sites was not as easy as now, and any schoolboy could not do it. Therefore, the site attracted attention, and there were people who began to try to hack it, trying to find a login and password to enter it, but without success. However, during the attempts to crack it, they managed to find out a very strange and mysterious detail about this site. Using a special tricky method, the crackers managed to see that the server hosting the site had terabytes of video files, the largest of which weighed as much as 39 gigabytes. And this at a time when there were floppy disks with only a couple of megabytes of memory, and the average personal computer's hard drive was also small, 30 or 40 gigabytes or even less. This discovery made people wonder what this mysterious site was hiding. Users continued their investigation and found that mortis.com was linked to several other sites, namely the site of a small American dental clinic and a security firm. There were several other sites with very strange content, For example, one such site where there was a link to mortis.com had on the main page images of white chess pieces and nothing else. There were also 2 sites that had already ceased to exist by that time. The owners of the domains, that is, the addresses of which were people who had gone missing several years ago. It was also possible to find out that the domain mortis.com itself belongs to a man named Thomas Link, who is trying to solve the mystery. We even contacted him and asked about the site. He replied that he does own the site and he just uses it as a repository for his wedding photos. Let me remind you that this is the 90s and there were terabytes of video files on the site. Clearly, wedding photos and videos couldn't take up that much space. This only fueled interest in this site and its mysteries. But soon the site was shut down by the FBI. At the same time, the information about it was deleted services that archive all the sites on the internet in a row, and where you can see the site and which is long gone, were also deleted other sites belonging to their Sun Yang Goose. And what was hidden on mortis.com still remains an internet mystery. The theories are the craziest. The fact that the FBI is behind the closure of the site sells even more mystery and enigma to the case. In 2013, internet users discovered a very unusual channel on YouTube called WebDriver Torso. The content on this channel was very strange. There were thousands of videos lasting only 11 seconds each, consisting only in the fact that there were blue and red rectangles of different lengths and aspect ratios. All of the videos were accompanied by strange, unpleasant squeaking noises. Thousands of people began to discuss who was posting such videos on this channel and why. There were different assumptions. Perhaps it is a spy and transmits signals encrypted in such a strange way to each other. Or it's some kind of social experiment, or maybe even aliens. However, unlike other mysteries of the internet, which I am talking about in this video, the true purpose of the channel WebDriver Torso was revealed. An Italian found out that this channel is connected to the accounts on YouTube, which belong to Google, where the official information from the company is posted. It was suggested that these videos are used for quality control of the video. YouTube management has since publicly stated that this channel is used for technical audits of YouTube. The red and blue rectangles in various shapes are just because they are very easy to make. There was no mysticism and mystery in the purpose of this channel. It still exists, by the way. Despite its strange content, the channel has more than 200,000 subscribers, and some of these short videos have more than 1 million views. People watch very different kinds of content on YouTube. Often they watch what others consider to be complete nonsense. For example, there are popular channels, mostly, for some reason, in Asia, where in the frame, some girl just eats different food in large quantities and a lot of people actually watch it. So there's this channel, it's called Kate. The channel has monotonous videos where a skinny girl, without showing her face completely, devours a huge amount of seafood. Octopus, squid, chunks of tuna, shrimp, and so on. She eats a truly gigantic amount of food. Here's a look at the beginning of the clip. How much stuff is on the table here? And this is the end of the clip, where she's already eaten it all. I don't know how many kilos of food that is. It's just tinny. And she eats very fast. Literally in 20 minutes she eats this whole mountain of food. The girl never speaks. Instead, a text is displayed on the screen. If she has something to say, she shows it on the screen. There are millions of views and hundreds of thousands of comments under each video. Maybe the mystery here is why so many people watch it, but no, that's not the mystery. Viewers of the channel have begun to notice that this girl has large, juicy bruises on her arms. There are also signs of beatings or some kind of punches on her lips. Users in the comments began to speculate that she was being forced to make these videos, that she was kidnapped and held somewhere against her will. What's more, in her latest video, 2 of her teeth fall out while she's eating. She never uploaded any more videos to her channel. It's been over 1.5 years since that tooth fell out of her and the video. So many viewers began expressing concern about her health shortly after the latest video was released. In the community tab on her YouTube channel, Kate posted the first and last video where she says she's doing fine, that the bruises on her arms are just sunburns, and that she just has herpes on her lips. Viewers also found 2 suspicious moments on her channel. In this clip, she taps her fingers on dishes in such a way that these taps can be read using Morse code as an SOS signal. Here, in the caption where she talks about how delicious it all is, the letters S and S in the text are capitalized, although they are not at the beginning of the word. They also form the word SOS. Viewers have started writing about it in the comments, also expressing their concern. Then Kate, or whoever runs her channel, wrote a long message in the comments. The content went something like this. It's not Morse code. The polls are random, finger tapping. Do you really think whoever kidnapped Kate wouldn't have noticed this video and let her post such a video? Furthermore, why would Kate's kidnapper allow her to edit the video herself, giving her the ability to insert hidden messages into it? The bruise on Kate's lip is just a cold, and the bruises on her arms are just sunburns. What is interesting is that whoever wrote this post spoke of Kate in the third person. That is, she did not write it herself. Moreover, all questions would immediately fall away if Kate herself appeared in the frame and explained the situation. But there hasn't been word about it for over a year and a half on the channel. No new videos. Kate's situation has remained a mystery. Whether she is still alive, no one knows, but the channel still exists. I think everyone knows that there is a site called Reddit. It's very popular among Americans. It's this huge forum where people discuss different things, and everyone can create their own forum thread or page, a so-called subreddit devoted to a topic. In 2011, users discovered one very strange subreddit. There were many posts, but they all looked like encrypted messages in numbers and letters. For the sake of convenience, they called this subreddit by the first 4 characters of its name, I-858. As in the case of TK Die, many people who were fond of cryptography began to try to unravel the mystery of this collection and decipher its message. Of the hundreds of posts, only a few were able to be deciphered. In these posts, there were encrypted pictures that had nothing to do with each other. After some time after this subreddit reached the public attention, the account who posted these encrypted messages created a post saying that Project A-858 was finished and that you could unsubscribe. Also, a few months later, he published a post saying that a certain firm had paid them, that is, the owners of this account, to post such encrypted messages. However, why this was done is still a mystery, and there are currently many who are still trying to unravel other encrypted posts on this subreddit. Ghost stories have existed for thousands of years. Allegedly, the souls of dead people come into our world and somehow interact with the living, dropping some signals, throwing objects, and so on. But there is no serious evidence that any of this is true. The interesting thing is that ghost stories in the modern world have taken on a modern guise. In 2011, a 32-year-old American man named Jack Frost died suddenly of some kind of illness, but soon after his death, his family and friends began receiving emails from him. You'd think he'd just set up delayed emails in time, but no. When friends and relatives responded to those emails, they received replies. One would assume that his emails were simply hacked by hackers, but Jack's family and friends said that these replies contained very personal information that only Jack himself and those close to him who wrote letters to his address after his death knew about. Such stories are very popular on the internet, but of course no supernatural and mysterious powers need to be involved to explain them. No one knows for sure, but most likely before his death, Jack simply gave access to his account to one of his friends, let him in on some secrets related to his loved ones, and asked them to prank him after his death. Such a weird prank. If you're on YouTube, if you just type a dot in the search bar, then YouTube's auto-selection will offer you different options. Now, at the very top in second or even first place will be this text in Arabic. If you click on it, YouTube will give you videos with horrible and scary pictures. Their titles will always contain this Arabic text. The translation of this Arabic text is also very scary. If you type it into Google Translate, the result will be, "A woman who claims to be the Virgin Mary is married to Christ." It's not clear what this is all about. I'm not going to show you all these videos that are posted on YouTube with this title. They're really very unpleasant and scary. Very creepy. I don't want to spoil your mood. You can find them yourself after watching my video. I think you already have a rough idea from the pictures of what's in there. The mystery here is what it is all about. Why do people upload videos like this with such an Arabic title? Strangely enough, there is no information about it on the internet, at least not in English. There are only questions about what it is, but no one knows the answer. My guess is that there is some sort of mime or gimmick, some sort of subculture among Arab internet users, and they post all sorts of tininess with this headline. But that's just my guess. If you know anything about it, post in the comments. Everyone knows how expensive the Bitcoin cryptocurrency is right now. You can already pay with it in quite a few places. And those who bought Bitcoins in time a few years ago have now made a lot of money from it. Bitcoin has become a revolutionary technology with great potential in the future. But it is interesting that so far no one knows who created the system. At the moment, Bitcoin's entire physical and software infrastructure is supported by a large community of people. But the original principle behind Bitcoin and the first software that makes it work was created by a person or group of people who called themselves Satoshi Nakamoto. He communicated anonymously with the first enthusiasts who were interested in Bitcoin at the very beginning and helped develop it. He told almost nothing about himself, and the little that was revealed did not help him in any way to find him, and is hardly true at all. The mysterious Satoshi Nakamoto published a document describing how Bitcoin worked in 2008. For 2 years after that, he led the community of the first Bitcoin developers without meeting them personally and disappeared at the end of 2010. Since then, a large community of people without any governing body has been supporting Bitcoin's work. That is a separate topic. It is known that the very first Bitcoin wallets created belonged to Satoshi Nakamoto, and they still hold the very first Bitcoins received in the system. And if these Bitcoins are translated into dollars, you get the sum of billions or even tens of billions. However, Satoshi has never touched these wallets since then. This can be seen in the transaction history. That is, Nakamoto has the ability to cash these Bitcoins and receive tens of billions, but he does not do so. Why no one knows during the whole existence of this cryptocurrency, there were many people who claimed to be Satoshi Nakamoto. However, none of them could provide anything convincing as proof, although it would be very easy to prove it. For example, to make a transaction with one of those first wallets. That said, there are people who claim to be Satoshi Nakamoto, and there are those who are suspected by other competent people to be Satoshi Nakamoto, while denying it themselves. It is possible that we will never know if Satoshi Nakamoto was real, and if he was, who was behind the alias. There are a lot of theories and speculations on this subject. In 2015, a Swedish man who owned a technology website received a package from Poland containing a disk. On the disk was only a line of numbers and letters written in marker. 11BX 1371. He inserted this disk into his computer to see what was on it. What he found there stunned the entire internet. There was a 2-minute black and white recording of a man wearing a plague doctor's mask. He was inside some abandoned building, and throughout the video there was a very unpleasant electronic sound in the background, like some kind of squeaking. Here is a short snippet of that video. The man who received this video published it on his blog, after which it went viral. Many people took the mystery very seriously and began to try to decipher it. And they succeeded. This video was just full of different sinister encrypted signs, pictures, phrases, and messages. First of all, it was found out that the video was shot in Poland, in a former psychiatric hospital. In this video, various combinations of letters and numbers, figures, and other signs constantly appear on the screen. And in the palm of the character's hand, there is a glowing circle that conveys an encrypted code by blinking. People versed in cryptography have been able to decipher these signs. For example, one combination of numbers and letters hid encrypted coordinates on a world map. The place to which these coordinates pointed was the White House in Washington. Another set of numbers was translated into a letter value. The letters were A in random order, but these letters could be put together into words, and then into the sentence, "Kill the president" in English. But the most amazing thing was discovered when the background sound of the video was turned into a spectrogram. That is, into a visual of the different frequencies and levels in this audio file. The result shocked everybody. This is what a normal spectrogram looks like. An untrained person would not be able to make any sense out of it, but the spectrogram of the sound of this video has started to turn into pictures and text messages. For example, in this part of the file, the spectrogram draws a message in English. "You are already dead." Next in the spectrogram is an image of a screaming woman's face and the room where the dismembered corpse is. Also in the spectrogram is another phrase, "We are the antivirus." The sound that was on the menu of this DVD was run through the spectrogram. If you remember, there is a menu in the division of movie discs where you can select something. So this sound produced another graphic spectrogram with a skull and various numeric and alphabetic codes. The decoded text of the code read, "You have 1 less year to live." Immediately, there were many different versions about who the author of this video was. whether it was just a prank or it was actually threats from a real group of bioterrorists who were preparing an assassination attempt on the President of the United States or something like that. Maybe it's some kind of sect that wants to achieve some sinister goals in this way. Creating such a complex spectrogram is not a simple process, and clearly technically savvy people were behind it. It began to be speculated that perhaps the creator of this clip was a serial killer who was playing this way with the police who were looking for him. In general, there were many theories, and the UBI was even interesting. It soon turned out that the video had originally been published on a YouTube channel a few months before the Swedish blogger got the disc. The channel with it is called AETBX. The description for the video was in binary code form. Translated into Spanish, the word death connected the channels with the host. But he responded that he did not create the video. The disc with the video was allegedly handed over by an unknown woman in the park, who said she found it on a bench. But after a while, the situation began to clear up. A man named Parker Wright claimed to be the creator of the video. He is an American living in Poland, did not reveal his face, but nevertheless came for an interview on one program with the condition that his face would not be shown. In the interview, he began to present Moscow. A lot of doctors from the video after something, but his face is blurred. He told me that he made this video just for the sake of art, that he was an artist. A lot of people didn't believe him. To prove he was telling the truth, Wright released a second video that was very similar to the first. It also featured a woman with a strange mask on her face. But here's the problem. Although the video was very similar to the first, it was missing all those many encrypted secret signs, and the sound program from the new video didn't show at all. It wasn't his mystery-loving community that came down on Wright without accusing him of being an imposter. He even removed himself from his channel afterwards, leaving only the first video on it. In my opinion, we have no reason not to believe him. This sinister video was just an art object, or, if you will, a prank. The author played on how much people love everything mysterious and enigmatic, and showed how easy it is to fool people around. And there were probably no encrypted messages in the new video, because he just didn't want to do such a big job again. Nevertheless, due to the absence of these encrypted messages in the new video, many do not believe that Parker Wright was the author. Fans of conspiracy and mysticism continue to believe that the mystery of this video is still unsolved, and that sinister dark forces are indeed behind its creation. Write in the comments which of all the stories in this video you think is the creepiest. I read all the comments and they really help promote the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and click on the bell.